EGM Network.
Honestly, without Treasure Coast Community Health, I think we'd be a much poorer community in terms of our health. We're always striving to fill the gap for everyone in the community, rich or poor.
And welcome to Community Conversations. As the intro said, my name is Vicki Soule, and I'm the CEO of Treasure Coast Community Health. Now, for many years, TCCH had a bright orange sun. Actually, we thought it was an orange globe because when we started 30-some years ago in Fellsmere, we were known as the fruit capital of Florida. Things have changed, and some things have stayed the same. The things that have stayed the same, from my perspective, are the continuation of excellent primary care medicine in our county. We have grown from 1 to now 8, soon to be 10 sites for your convenience, and we continue to hire excellent providers and staff members so that we can take good care of our community's health. But we know we can't do it alone, and so we collaborate with a lot of others, nonprofits and for-profits alike, so that, again, as a group, we can make your lives healthier through preventive care, through acute care, through chronic care means, by making it most convenient for you. So we welcome your input, but we also welcome people here every week so that we can share the wealth of information because knowledge is power. And so today I'm pleased to have a representative here from the ELC, and I'm going to let her introduce herself and her organization because she's been there for over a year, so she's no stranger to what she's going to say. That's right.
Yes. Good morning, good afternoon, and hello to everyone from the Environmental Learning Center. My name is Elise, and I'm really happy to be here, Vicki. Thank you so much for having us and for being such a great partner to us.
Well, you know, health is not just about one aspect. It's head, it's body, it's your heart, it's the environment that you live in. And that is where, again, that mental health and physical health needs that outside. And the Environmental Learning Center provides that resource to so many in our community. So the respect is mutual there.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
And you're always doing something different, just like us. So that's why we have to have these confabs to discuss what's going on and share it with others. Because, again, if we couldn't get outside, what a dismal world it would be.
We would not be very happy.
Not at all.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned TCCH has been around for 30 plus years. And likewise for the Environmental Learning Center, we are in our 37th year.
Wow.
Right. And growing with every year. And it's such a wonderful place to be. It's a great place to work. And as you say, you know, our health is everything, and we forget, we get involved, being inside at our desks, on our phones. Being in the natural world is, you know, part of our mission is to get people into nature, you know, unplug, get back in, and to encourage and inspire and promote being good stewards of their natural environment and in turn being a good steward of their own well-being.
So that's the learning part of ELC, isn't it?
It certainly is.
Sneaky the way you move that in there.
But it's an easy learning curve for sure, because we are part of nature. We forget, you know,
Yes,
we think
do.
we're a part of it. But when, just crossing the threshold off of Live Oak Drive onto our campus, we have 64 acres, lush mangrove forests. We are in the middle of the Indian River Lagoon, so we're on an island. And I always say, you know, if you don't happen to live on 64 acres on an island in the lagoon with access to the water or access to walking trails, we are here for you. We are your backyard.
Well, and even coming up to Live Oak Drive, you know, just going over the bridge and seeing the water, you know, it sort of sets the tone for relaxing and enjoying what God has given us. So,
and not by accident, just being in nature. And there are plenty of medical studies done that being in nature affects us physically. Vitamin D is good for our bones, good for our immune system.
I was thinking the same thing on the way over here
good
today.
for our blood cells. It's good for our mental health. It helps to reduce stress, anxiety. It's good for our, it creates a more resiliency when we are in a very chaotic world and things coming at us, things that we can't control. But unplugging and plugging back into nature really gives us the opportunity to reset and come back home, and that's just good on every level of who we are.
And that doesn't even cover what it does for kids.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah. Leave the iPad, leave all the little toy gadgets in the car, and come out and just enjoy getting in water that doesn't have an alligator in it,
Hands on, feet wet is part of our philosophy for getting in our kids' education programs. And we have the best education department. We are just now gearing up. We start on June 2nd of a summer long of our camps as well. And I will say, just to come on up, as I said, your backyard, we have a mud kitchen that I absolutely love just walking by. Right.
It's a mud kitchen.
An imagination station.
Wow.
That's what we officially, it's the imagination station. And boy, oh boy, does this little area get so much play. Kids just love it. They're in their own little worlds and playing in nature.
So with their family, there's no limit on the ages.
No.
It can be from toddling to teens.
Yeah, we have our Little Wonders programs for ages 18 months to 4 years, about once a month. And then, we have our camps goes from 1st grade to 9th grade. And we also have an unstructured play area aside from the mud kitchen for little older kids. And I would call it, there's swings and things to balance on and things to ding and ring. And it's.
I think I missed that
it's
when
so
I
much
went
fun.
there. Wow. You can see it on your website.
There it is.
How awesome is that?
Recently, a family came up and said, we didn't leave that area. We didn't leave the play area. Like,
we'll have to come back again, right?
That's okay. That's okay, too. But yeah.
So it's outside in the play area. Is that close to where you guys do the big presentations?
Pavilion.
Yeah.
Next to our pavilion. Yeah. Okay. So we have play for adults as well. As I said, I am out in the community and not a Florida born and raised, but I've been here for 20 years. But when I get out and say, I'm in with the ELC, so many adults say, oh, I was there when I was in 3rd grade or 4th grade. And we continue to have a contract with the school district for 3rd and 4th graders to come up.
Wonderful.
And I say, when was the last time you were here? Come on up, adults. We love to have you. We do have some really great wellness programs. We have yoga, Tai Chi. I personally lead a walking meditation once a month.
Oh, how nice.
And we've got some really cool things kicking off for the summer, a stand-up yoga, stand-up paddle yoga. We have a solstice celebration that is part on land and on the water called Paddle, Breathe, Be.
Wow.
And another really cool thing that's coming up for families, family bonding, is called Nature's Palette. And folks will be collecting pieces of nature and building a little bit of artwork from found objects in nature.
Oh, see, coming from the Midwest, we had that every fall. We would go along and pick up all the different shaped leaves and then make collages out of them.
That's great.
Yeah, it's a great memory. Not so much here. We do have different shaped leaves, but they fall at different times. It's just not quite the same.
You just have to adjust your way of looking at things.
There you go.
There's definitely a difference, but there's still so much beauty here to be found, surprising and delightful.
Absolutely. And is there a spot where people can see dolphins?
Well, we have 3 if you count the pontoon dock, because we do have pontoon excursions. We have through the walking trails, about 2 miles of walking trails, and 2 places that you can just be quiet and still on an overlook to the Indian River Lagoon. And yes, our lagoon does offer many, many spontaneous delights. Yeah, dolphins, manatees. Yeah.
When I was there one time, we were talking about the spoonbills and the magnificent color, and how in the 1920s they were almost eradicated because of that spectacular plumage, and how Pelican Island, just down the way a bit, has really helped restore so much of what was almost lost.
Yeah.
And you all are doing the same thing.
Yeah. Well, getting people close to it. Of course, Pelican Island is the first wildlife refuge of the United States. Teddy Roosevelt, he shows up every year to remind us of that.
That's right, sometime in early summer, as I recall.
We love to have him. And one of our pontoon excursions goes up. We don't land on it, obviously. But we do go up and around, and depending on the time of day, our sunset pontoon excursions are very popular.
Right.
And that's when the birds come back and roost, and there's an awful lot to see.
So I know that in these times, everybody's concerned about costs, and I've heard already from some of the moms, they're checking out summer camps and that. It's stretching the family budget. I know the pontoon boats have a small fee. Talk to me about the costs of being able to use some of the resources that you have there. Yeah,
we have our Maggie Bowman Scholarship program, and that is open to everyone. It's, on a case-by-case basis. And anyone and everyone is welcome to apply for that.
Okay.
And we love to use our scholarships. In fact, last year we did almost 370 scholarships out into the community. Yeah. And
so does that cover like admissions anytime you want, or is that for the programs that the kids might be able to go into for summertime?
It would cover maybe a summer camp. It might cover an event. It might even cover a family membership. Okay. And also on that, there's this great program. The library came to us, Indian River County, and there's a day pass. Like you would take out a book. Yeah. You could take out a day pass.
Wow.
To ELC.
How cool is that?
I love it.
Yeah, that is fantastic. And again, as a learning center, a lot of your learning is hands-on, but literature is not beyond the cause, I understand. And I went to a meeting that you guys hosted, and inside one of your meeting rooms, all kinds of wonderful artwork about nature subjects. Yeah. And so even if you couldn't see a particular thing off the dock or off a walking trail, you might see it in your meeting rooms. Yeah, yeah. You host for different artists, I understand?
We do. We have two galleries. The smaller gallery is in our Welcome Center, right behind our Welcome Center desk, and in our title gallery. And then upstairs in our lagoon room is the larger gallery. And throughout the year, we always have an exhibit showing, and it's typically nature-inspired artwork. Everyone from, our local art clubs, the Vero Beach Art Club, it's just leaving now. The Johns Island Art Club had an exhibit up, but we had Roger Hammer, who was a botanist, a naturalist, and an amazing wildflower photographer. Gorgeous work. So there's always something. And what's really fun about the changing exhibits is that we always have an artist meet and greet. And so it's pretty cool. It's kind of cool. A little cocktail party, a little nosh. We get to, talk to the artists about their inspiration.
So we have to take a short break. Sure. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
A word from our sponsors, and then we're going to come back and talk some more about all the cool things that you've got going on out there.
Great.
Thank you. Treasure Coast Community Health in-house pharmacies have the lowest prices in Indian River County, even lower than big box pharmacies. Taking your medication as prescribed leads to better health. Affordable medicine makes it easier. Treasure Coast Community Health patients can pick up medicine as they leave the office or use free delivery and mail order services. Pharmacists are always available to answer questions. Switch to TCCH pharmacies. Save money, stay healthy. 772-257-8224 and ask about our price match.
At Sunshine Furniture, our 35,000 square foot showroom is filled with the largest selection of in-stock coastal furniture on the Treasure Coast. Dining and bedroom sets, occasional tables, sofas, sleeper sofas, love seats and chairs, and all the latest styles and colors from Tommy Bahama, Lexington, Hooker, Riverside, Universal Coastal Living, Four Seasons, Braxton Color, and Capri. We're also the outdoor furniture experts and have hundreds of styles of any patio furniture you need, including a gallery of Berlin Gardens and Polywood. We specialize in fire pits, outdoor rugs, umbrellas, and replacement cushions. Right now, we're having a spring sale with lots of great markdowns and discounts on everything you need for your Florida home, including all pictures, lamps, and accessories half price. Sunshine Furniture, 1295 US 1 in the Publix Plaza, Vero Beach. Don't forget to visit our outlet store directly across the street, filled with lots of brand name closeouts and sale items. And visit our website at sunshinefurniturecasual.com.
Before she was a legend, she was just a girl with a dream. Beautiful. The Carole King musical tells the incredible true story of a young songwriter who found her voice and changed music forever. The passion and the triumph of a woman who shaped a generation. Don't miss Beautiful, the feel-good musical, now playing at Vero's beautiful Riverside Theater. Get your best tickets now at the box office or riversidetheater.com.
And welcome back to Community Conversations. If you're just joining us, my name is Vicki Soule. I'm the CEO of Treasure Coast Community Health, which, as you might guess, is all about health. And so we do this radio show every week, bringing in guests to talk about some things that intersect into health, other things that are just really interesting about our community. Today, I'm lucky to have a gal who's willing to talk about both. We've both been here about 20 years. We both work for organizations that have been in existence more than 30 years. So welcome back, Elise.
Thank you.
I appreciate you talking to me about all the things that ELC is doing. But we haven't barely touched the surface. We did talk about how other community organizations are getting involved with you. I love the library pass, where you can just go to the library and instead of checking out a book, ask to check out a day pass for the ELC. And then, of course, you have to return it, I'm sure. But what a novel idea and how wonderful. Because, again, we all want to be outside. We all want to do fantastic things with our kids. But sometimes the means just don't make it. It's difficult enough just coordinating schedules sometimes. So that is a huge relief, as is your scholarship. And you mentioned during the break that you do have a couple of other things that people should look into, and I'm assuming that they're on your website as well.
Sure. The website discoverelc.org.
Very good.
Day trippers come in, and we do get a lot of people just kind of dropping in. For the typical admission is $10, but we do have a military discount for $5.
Okay.
And kids are $5. We have a Sage Elder discount, 65 years and older.
Oh,
$8.
I like that.
I know, me too.
That's awesome. And when we have family coming in from out of town, typically we'll take them to our favorite restaurant. But then they're like, what else can we do?
Yeah.
And while there's wonderful things, like my family always likes to go out on the airboat stuff because they don't have that up in Michigan. Well, they do, but not the same, not filled with alligators and the same birds and all of that. But sometimes you just want something a little bit closer to home, something less exotic and yet water related. And so being on an island, that first off hits the bill because you're surrounded by water. But you also have some water nature types of things right on your campus as well.
We do. Well, on the water, we have as I mentioned earlier, our pontoon excursions, and then we have canoe and kayak for rent. Take it out on your own, but we also have guides that would be happy to take you out and know so much about the natural surroundings, and so they're teaching or giving you some good information about that.
It seems to be a younger crowd kind of thing. I
not
really
necessarily.
like the pontoon boat myself.
And that's
learned
fun
a lot there too.
Yeah, for sure. We do have boat nature guides there. But we also, fun for adults and kids. Although the kids are really fascinated, is our over 2,000-gallon aquaria system, which we call our living lagoon. And so what we've got in our aquariums are representative of what things that you might find in the lagoon. We've got seahorses. I kind of get stuck right there.
Yeah.
They're my favorite. They're adorable.
Yeah,
but we also have a touch tank that is open for a couple of hours with a little bit of a break in between. Gives the animals a break, and kids are fascinated by that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I can remember taking my little ones to aquariums, and they always want to pound on the tank. You know, it's like, no, don't do that. But in a touch tank, they can actually feel not just the seahorses. I'm thinking of the starfish.
We've got sea stars and sea urchins and peppermint shrimp, and they're peppermint because they're striped red and white.
No kidding.
Yeah. They're very cool. Yeah.
And then, of course, in the aquarium, you've got the bigger fish and things that you hope to see when the lagoon is clear, which isn't very often anymore. But
it depends on where you are.
Yeah, the wind and the sand and all of that. Yeah.
And then also we are really honored to be host to 3 animal ambassadors. We have a box turtle named Nova, and we have a red rat snake, aka corn snake, named Cornelia Mays, and a diamondback terrapin. She's beautiful. Her name is Argyle. And she typically stays in her tank, but Nova and Cornelia Mays, they do come out and meet our visitors. They do. They're an important part of our education programs as well, just to get kids, learning about them, but also being up close and personal. It's one thing to see these things in a book, and it's another thing to say, oh, can I... one finger touch. Oh, that's something special. So many adults didn't have that opportunity. Right. My dad was one of those. He said the only good snake was a dead snake. My mother, growing up on a farm, said, "Oh no, don't touch snakes. Yeah.
They get rid of all the things that we don't want to have around."
They're pretty important.
Really important to our nature. So that was a constant point of discussion. Do I like snakes? Do I not like snakes? Well, some snakes are good, and some snakes, like water moccasins, are not so good. But learn the difference. Sort of like people. Anyways,
pretty much. And the other thing that we are absolutely privileged to be on the land that gopher tortoises live. We have over 60 resident gopher tortoises, and if you start to drive onto our campus, you'll see many, many signs. Please slow down. Please watch out, because they come out. And
I haven't seen any as many times as I've been there. Are they more nocturnal? Do they come out?
No, they come out during the day. They come out for breakfast. They come out for lunch. They come out for dinner.
That's the secret. I have to start bringing something for them to eat.
Again, you kind of have to be looking low in the bushes and just around.
60, that's amazing.
I know. They're amazing.
Wow. So anytime that you are open, which is
7 days a week.
That's what I was going to say.
7 days a week.
So unusual.
Yep. 8 to 5 Monday through Friday, and 8 to 4 Saturday and Sunday.
Well, I can't imagine spending a better day than to go out. And it's been a beautiful week. Yep. The weekend forecast is a little iffy, but you've got
it's Florida. You never know what's going to come through.
And you've got a lot of inside space too. So you might see me out there.
Okay, but if the weather is good, bring a bag lunch. We've got picnic tables everywhere. Something to just relax and, as we said, be in nature, unplug, and reset. I don't
suppose you have one of those things that carry beverages. A vending machine.
We do have snacks.
Okay.
And we have delicious, yummy ice cream as well.
Oh, well, now you're talking my language.
It's good. It's good.
What would you say the average time that people spend there, just, again, as they're planning for doing something with it?
I would say at least 2 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, but people come up and say, we've only got an hour. And, that's what you've got.
Pick what you'd like to do the most.
But you can spend, 2, 3, even 4 hours just hanging around. There's just so much to be thankful for.
Truth. Yeah. And so many wonderful people that work there and volunteer there.
Yeah.
So my thanks to all of you for making that available to us in the community. What a great resource. And
Yeah.
thank you, Elise, for spending time with me today.
Thank you, Vicki.
You're very welcome. And thank you all for being here, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.